good on Periscope. And it looks good on Facebook.
It has to do with the wirecast protection settings. Straight to YouTube and skip.
What's going on, man? Good. How we doing? Good.
Okay, Lucas, when they get ready for the senior girls introducing, you're in charge of the camera there for do whatever it is that you can do. I have no idea. That's why we're winging it, so when you see something moving, I'm sure they're going to bring out the parent, kid, and yeah, I got the crowd announcing again. Yeah, we got the crowd mic right out here. We'll be turning it out.
So when he announces you'll have it live going when he's announcing the starters and all that.
Yes.
So we don't need to give your lanyard.
No, I'll get one. They're probably coming to the letter N. So
Maybe we zoom that camera out.
Bill can get zoom out that short camera while you're doing the following. So then I can go back, talk back and forth. We won't know the settings until we actually start.
We're on the air. We're doing good. We got our audio a little bit there.
Periscope, you can share it out. There's a little share button in Periscope.
Ask me to share.
Yeah, you can ask for shares, so when somebody sees that, you share it also. You got it going. Or two.
How fast are we going live for us?
I'm already live.
I know, but when do you want us to?
Whenever you like. You give me a thumbs up, I'll turn the mic, turn it on.
So do you know what's going on with this? And you know you're going to announce this little fake draw? Yeah, okay, cool. Nah, it doesn't look like it, but they're going to do something.
Okay, you got that, Lucas? I got two seniors from Westfield that you got to get.
That's pretty cool.
Yes, I got it low right now. Until they actually.
So stick around, and I believe we're going to start with the ceremonial first draw for one of the Millers players that is not going to be able to play this afternoon. She's a senior.
Yeah, that's what's going on.
And that will be Rachel Bulla doing a ceremonial first draw to finish her lacrosse career here at Noblesville. All right, folks, we're going to be doing that ceremonial first draw after we get done with our senior introductions. First, from the Westfield Shamrocks, we've got two seniors to recognize today. The first one, number 27, Jasmine Brendel.
Who's on what? How was that?
And And the other Westfield Shamrock senior, number 10, Maddie Drogula.
Thank you.
All right.
You guys, who's going to be on what camera?
Playbooks for the Noblesville Millers. We're going to start with number 11, Hannah Potter. Lacrosse for 6 years as a midfielder. Some of Hannah's favorite memories are beating Cathedral last year. It was pretty awesome. We were all really nervous, especially the coaches, but we got the W, and Coach got us ice cream the next day. We also made us eat it before we did conditioning. But nothing beats watching coaches Hannah and Molly perform Say My Name by Destiny's Child. Her advice for incoming freshman lacrosse players, I would advise the incoming freshmen to run through the line or else you're going to learn it the hard way. Like Charlie did. But for real, don't get too worked up about catching it wrong because it will eventually come to you. Hannah's accomplishments are significant. She was a USL All-American, first team All-State, 2015 Indiana first team, 2016 Team Indiana, varsity lacrosse for 4 years, varsity soccer for 4 years at Noblesville, 2016 second team All-District soccer player, 2016 Hoosier Crossroads Conference honorable mention soccer, 2016 academic All-State soccer player, as well as a student athletic council president, girls soccer representative, IHSAA student advisory committee vice president. She's been significantly in the top 10% of her class, National Honor Society, National Art Honor Society, 10-year 4-H member. Her plans after high school will be attending Central Michigan University to play D1 lacrosse while studying elementary education and sports management. Good luck, Hannah. All right, next up on senior day is number 16, Ellie Palmer. Ellie's parents are away. She's been playing lacrosse for 8 years, and she is an attack player. Her favorite lacrosse memories the past 4 years brought me lots of laughs and memories, but my favorite is beating HSE Fishers in the regular season in a sudden death triple overtime. That was the most exciting finish to a game I've ever experienced, and I know our team worked really hard for that win. Also, winning the Braveheart tournament was really fun, minus the ice rink. And the games of state pong never get old. Her advice for the incoming players is, if it's raining outside, you'll probably end up doing an Indiana run at practice, and I advise you never drive fast in the parking lot, or there's going to be consequences. Don't be scared. Whether you're new to lacrosse or played for a while, this team is so welcoming, and these coaches make sure everybody feels like family. Her high school accomplishments, she's been consistently top 10 academically all 4 years, member of the National Honor Society lacrosse team captain for 3 years, the Miller Lacrosse Award as a freshman, and second team All-State her junior year. After high school, Ellie's going to be attending the University of Colorado studying accounting, and she cannot thank everyone enough for being the best teammates, parents, coaches, and friends a girl could ask for. I love you all and miss you all dearly. Good luck, Ellie. Next up, we've got Grace Newman, number 29, midfielder. Grace's parents are Greg and Brittany. Her siblings are Nate, Dog, and Jared. She's been playing lacrosse for 6 years. Grace's favorite memory has been witnessing all the wipeouts and falls over the last 4 years. Sorry for laughing every time. And scoring a game-winning goal against Zionsville to advance to the tournament in her junior year. Her advice for the incoming new players is to enjoy every second of the 4 years, even the 30-minute Indiana run. Because what's supposed to be 4 years of high school lacrosse will fly by, and before you know it, you'll be an entire athlete. Her awards for the last 4 years has been part of the Noblesville National Honor Society, 2016 First Team All-State, 2016 First Team All-Tournament, 2016 First Team All-Region, and the 2016 All-USA Indiana Athlete of the Week. And most importantly, she has led the team in concussions throughout. Her plans after high school is attending Ball State to study nursing and then complete a nurse practitioner program. Good luck, Grace.
Thank you,
All right, bringing out number 13, Hannah Nadbay. Hannah's parents are Bruce and Lisa. Her sibling is Alex. She's been playing lacrosse for 5 years. Her favorite memory is we were down playing Carmel in my sophomore year, but we were beginning players,
what they're
mistakes happen. Everybody makes them. If you mess up during practice or a game, don't sit around and think about it. Think about what you wish you would have done right. Just go out there and fix it. Think about what you can do next. High school accomplishments. She once had 2 cookies fall out of the vending machine by mistake after hitting frustration. After high school, she'll be attending Brigham Young University in Idaho, majoring in business with an emphasis on global supply chain management, and then serve as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints after completing her freshman year of college. Rachel, good luck in everything you got going for you, and again, she'll be sitting out today. Well, we wish you the best. And that's it for our seniors today. You guys ready? Stick around. We're going to have the ceremonial first draw for Rachel, and then we're going to kick off the final home game of the year. Session stands are open.
Welcome to today's broadcast of the IHSAA Women's Lacrosse, Indiana High School Lacrosse. Today's matchup is between the Noblesville Lady Millers versus the Westfield Lady Shamrocks here at the beautiful confines of Harris Chevrolet Field. My name is Joe Morris, and my co-host is Rob Green. We're going to bring this action to you today. Today's broadcast is presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating their 25th year in the business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Wofford Theater, Movies on the Road, Community Health, Church Hiddle and Atram, Ivy Tech, Smith Jewelers, Mark Harbrandt, Bold and Sassy Salon, Indiana Restoration, and Yancey's Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. Well, Rob, here we are. We're here again today at Harris Chevrolet Field watching our nationally and state-ranked Lady Millers host another Hamilton County team in the Westfield Lady Shamrocks.
How about this weather?
Ha!
After 6 straight days of rain, the skies part, the sun comes out, and here we are.
And on Senior Day. This game was supposed to, Senior Day recognition was supposed to happen earlier in the week, but we had to postpone it to today. So it looks like the seniors get a chance to enjoy the beautiful sunshine and weather. It is a great day.
It is.
So what we got to talk about today, Rob, where are we at today versus where we were? We've certainly missed some opportunities with some rainouts.
Yep.
I know they're going to reschedule those, but today's matchup, what's your thoughts?
Well, again, I spend so much time at the youth level that I really don't have a lot of time to follow the girls' high school programs outside of our own. I do believe that Westfield should probably be fairly decent. Do you hear that feedback? I think they're a pretty decent program. Their youth program is struggling a little bit, and so I know that they're, all programs go through ebbs and flows, and I think that if you look at the size of their team, they're not mighty in numbers. Matter of fact, here's some interesting lore for you. It was only a couple years ago that their high school girls team was playing with our girls' high school varsity team, and so we were combining forces because they didn't have enough players, and so they were a good augment to our team because, again, even at the time we didn't have a tremendous number of players. Today we field both a full JV and a full varsity team. So,
well, that was recognizable and noticeable in the game prior to this. That was the JV matchup between the Lady Millers and Westfield Lady Shamrocks. And it looked like our JV team, which is a full roster of JV teammates, versus the Westfield team was mixed. It looked like there might be a shortage of players on Westfield's side, and they were mixing their players. So I don't know how much that will carry over into this matchup, but it's certainly we'll get a chance to see here shortly. Well, let's talk about some of our sponsors. Prom specials going on. I know we just had prom. There might be a few proms left, but if you ever need a tuxedo rental, the place to be is Yancey's Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. Yancey's Apparel, doing business in Noblesville for over 40 years, located on the inside of the Logan Street Sign and Banners business. You can call Dan at 317-773-2973 for all your tuxedo rental needs. They have the best prices around, from $110 to $155, and includes everything. We're getting ready to recognize the flag with our national anthem. Ouch.
All right, time to go.
That's right. That's right. Hey, check out us on the web as for this live stream broadcast. Watch Hamilton County TV live or on demand on your smart TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, phone plus any device with the YouTube app. Or you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.hctvyoutube.com. Now, I got to tell you, last week when we did this, or the last time we broadcast, I shot all that info out on my social media, and we had people from all over the country tuning in. Well, interesting enough, this is going global. And we shot this out, and it's gone global, and we want to put a big shout-out to CJ Green, Marine at the U.S. Marine Corps, stationed where?
Stationed in Bahrain.
And I'm certain he's right now watching his sister play, listen to his dad talk
Well,
with
I
all
hope
his
so.
buddies.
I hope so.
So we want to give him a big shout-out and say thank you for your service.
Absolutely. I tell you, when I watch the Star Spangled Banner before games, now that he's in the service, it carries a little bit more meaning in our family.
Well, I'd like to mention something. So I'm at the house, your place, picking up the girls from the team meal, and Cindy tells me she founded a great organization for parents of Marines. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It is a mom's program. It's a Marine moms program for moms of Marines in the state of Indiana. And so they get together for lunches or dinners every once in a while, probably like once a month. And it is really a really helpful program for moms for new enlistees. When we were going through it, and for the first time, and CJ was in boot camp 13 weeks, and you get in the Marines absolutely no contact with your son or daughter, it's really hard. And so this is a great program for moms that are going through that kind of thing. Kind of really helps them understand what the boot camp process is like, and just gives them someone to talk to that's kind of been where they are. And it's a tough deal to not talk to your kid for 13 weeks. So
I can only imagine. Well, when Cindy mentioned that to me, I thought it was awesome. I have a brother who was a Marine. My dad was a Marine. Special people, right?
Didn't know that.
But
Yeah,
all
that's
service men and women are special, and we want to say thank you for your service. And those that served prior, thank you for your service. It's an awesome thing, and that Star Spangled Banner certainly is as well. Well, they just announced the starting lineups. Today's matchup, again, is between our nationally and state-ranked Lady Millers hosting the Westfield Lady Shamrocks in today's matchup. It's a
Joe,
conference event.
You had told me that they were ranked nationally, and I don't follow that kind of stuff. So what do you mean by that?
Well, nationally ranked on MaxLax, the website, you can go and look at all the high school ladies or men's lacrosse teams, collegiately or high school in the nation. And out of the approximately 2,233 women's high school lacrosse programs that are nationwide, our Lady Millers are nationally ranked. Matter of fact, they're in the top 2% of all high school programs in the country. Now, I find that remarkable. I think it's a compliment to all those on the board, all those involved in coaching, all the parents that have gotten involved. But the rankings have changed. Last week, they were ranked 30th on the RPI in the nation. They have dropped since then, and I have an assumption that could be the fact we had a number of rainouts. We had that tournament rained out. We had last week's games rained out. So as these other teams have played and won on the RPI rankings, the way the point system works, we dropped down. We're still in the top 60-some. On the wins-loss rankings, we're still holding strong at number 10 in the country. And in the state, we're ranked number 1.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Here we go for the draw.
Hold on. So this is this is the kind of ceremonial draw. Rachel Bulla there for Noblesville is a senior that doesn't get to play today.
She had an injury last
She had a
week.
concussion.
Uh-huh.
And she's been on the team I coached her back in youth, so she's been playing at least 5 or 6 years, I think probably 5. And so to not be able to play on senior day is kind of a sad deal. She's a great teammate and a great, great individual. But it's so nice that they would let her do the ceremonial draw there just to recognize her as a senior.
That is
on the field.
and she's on the defensive end of our team, right?
Yep.
So she's been a starter for us all season long on defense.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how we adjust to that. Who her replacement is? Is it Kylie Morris?
I think it is Kylie Morris.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Well, we've done some adjustments. In that Carmel game, at half it was 9-8 Carmel, and I believe the halftime speech was a motivating one at the very least, because I think the game ended up 22-9.
That's right.
But we made some adjustments, and I noticed we've made some adjustments all season long. So here we go with the action, and the key is going to have to get those draws.
And we don't start out with one, or do we? Nope.
But it's been interesting to watch this season progress and the adjustments we have made. The scoreboard doesn't always indicate the actual play, right? There might be like blowouts, but we've had to make some adjustments from time to time.
Yep. But that's the sign of a solid team, is when you can figure out what's not working and find new ways to do things that start to work.
Well, like in the instance of like Kylie Morris, she's been a midfielder in an attack basically her career, and now they've moved her to defense, hopefully to use some of her athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a good spot for her to adjust, being a younger player. And there's some others in there as well that they put in a different role.
Well, take Kylie, a perfect example of where we're pretty full on middies, and she's really kind of a middie.
And behind.
But she's so athletic that when they need to fill in at defense, why not take one of the most athletic girls on the team and put her at defense, even though that's not where she normally plays?
I'm with you on that. And I've seen us do that with some other girls as well, and I think it's paying off.
Mm-hmm. And here we go, making it very difficult for them to make any passes in the interior, in the 8-meter arc.
Pulling it forward.
There's a freshman, Mia
Blackburn. She's been a heck of a player. I've watched her on those other teams you've coached.
Get it down to Hannah Natvig, who makes a great pass and
Ellie
a
Palmer.
quick goal. And that's we've seen that for many years. That was one of the staples that we started back in youth with this same senior group, and that is we love to score first. We love to get up by 2 or 3 at least as quick as we can. And they can carry on that tradition today.
Well, with 23-21 in the game, the Millers are on the board first, 1. I anticipate this to be one of those fast-paced, if our girls are really engaged at the level they should be. But it's good for Ellie Palmer to get on the board first for the Lady Millers.
Yep. And a great pass, a great assist by Hannah Natvig.
She had a heck of a game last week.
She did. Were you at the Fishers game?
Yes.
Yep, that was quite a start to that game. And here's another quick start. Get it downfield, another quick shot. And that time, Hannah Natvig scored off of Taylor Geison's assist.
These seniors have all contributed pretty well balanced. Grace Hammond had just a phenomenal game at the Carmel game in that second half.
Yep, she really did.
Of course, the Natvig girl, Hannah, she's done well. Potter, Taylor Geison. It's been great. Kat Green's done well.
She has.
I think together, all the girls defensively, we're hanging in there. I think that Carmel game might have been a wake-up call for them.
Certainly that first half.
I hope so.
But again, it shows that if you kind of are one-dimensional, that teams will scout you, they'll figure you out, and they'll shut down some of the things that you do. And I think that that's really a perfect example of what happened in that first half against Carmel. But the mark of a good team, as I said, is when you can make adjustments and come out and throw something else at them that they haven't scouted. And then,
there it is. That Kat Green, that was good offense.
Well, I missed it.
They were tossing around, and Kat came in, took the shot. So Lady Miller score and strike fast. It's 3-0 with 22:41 left in the first. Now, for those that are new to lacrosse, we run 25-minute halves, 50-minute games. Tell us about the 10.
Yep, so there's a clock stop on every goal and every out of bounds. and unless there's a 10-goal differential, and then it becomes a running clock until it's no longer a 10-game or a 10-shot differential. Goal is what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
Now here's another sophomore.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's Erin, and she is another starter. Worked her way into a starting position, and Natvig almost scored again. But Erin is physically growing. She's grown probably about 4 inches this year.
She's kind of
her
taller.
sophomore year. Yeah. So she's really sprouted up, and it's made her more athletic.
Miller's on the board again.
So kudos to Erin Wilson for getting that thing started.
Mm-hmm. We've talked about this every time we've had the opportunity to do this broadcast, and that is keeping the girls engaged and not letting down
Right.
the intensity.
Yep.
And I'm hopeful that today will be a day that they don't let their guards down and continue to work on their game.
Yep. It's easy to get sloppy when things are too easy. But so far we've seen a big impact by the sophomore class, which is exciting. Kat Green has, in the last 2 possessions, a goal and an assist. She's a sophomore who's worked her way in the starting lineup. Erin Wilson got that last draw. Here's Kat Green again.
Another pass and shot from
Yep.
Taylor Geisen with the assist.
Taylor Geisen to
Kat Green.
Yep. So again, good to see the sophomore influence on the field because when these seniors move on, it's going to leave a hole, but every hole can be filled. And so we just need these girls to step up and fill that hole, and I think they're going to be capable. And I don't know if you were here last night. I don't think you were, but we had the Nylaxapalooza. And that's where it was all the youth, boys and girls, and every team came out and got 30 minutes on the turf. And I got to tell you, our 8th grade, our U14 team, made up mostly of 8th graders, just a few 7th graders. They looked really good last night, and they're going to be a nice addition to this team next year.
Nice. Well, we need it because we're going to lose some firepower. But, you know, as I look at this back defensive unit, these 4 ladies here.
All sophomores.
They're all sophomores, and they're all basketball players, too.
Yep.
Meredith Miller, number 26, Grace Hammond, number 28. They've been a constant starting duo on the defense all season long.
Yep.
They were most of the time last year basketball players. Erin Wilson, basketball player. Kylie Morris, basketball player. And then you got Kat Green, who's a basketball player. I mean, there's so many of these basketball players that on this team that have converted.
Yep.
And it's great to see. But when I looked out there, I just thought, wow, I just saw those girls not too many months ago on the hard court.
Well, and it's the same thing with the 8th graders I have now, is a lot of them have come from different sports, but several of them have come from basketball. The thing I love is that they're so hard to attract to the sport, but already this year I've got a handful of soccer players and basketball players that are already saying that they like lacrosse now better than the other sports. And it's just such a fun sport, and it's great to see the growth here in the girls program. What was it? I think it was a practice that
Hannah
we had,
Potter.
And a one shot, 1 goal.
Yeah.
She's strong to the goal.
Hannah Potter has signed her letter of intent. She'll be playing for the Central Michigan women's lacrosse program next year. Taylor Geisen will be playing at Cincinnati next year. We got a number of other girls who are going to have opportunities. So it's for the program, it's great. And for Hamilton County, it's great. There's a number of girls coming out of Hamilton County that are going to the next level, whether it be Division I, Division II, or Division III. And you can get all those stats and facts on maxlax.com.
So as I was saying, the Wednesday night, there was a practice, and we didn't really plan it. It just kind of happened. But we often practice right after the varsity team. And so there was a transition period where the varsity and the JV had not left yet, and all of our youth had arrived. Almost 100 girls in Noblesville girls lacrosse.
From high school to youth?
Yeah, and all out on one practice field, out around it, waiting for their practice or just finishing up. But just to, and I unfortunately didn't get to see it. I was out of town. And but one of the dads was telling me, he said, I'm looking and it's just a sea of girls lacrosse players. And it's just great.
Well, when you've developed the programs like Noblesville has from scratch, and you were a very big part of that. And you see now in these rankings and these scholarship winners and collegiate athletes coming out, not just Noblesville but throughout Hamilton County and throughout the state. That's something from a Noblesville's perspective. That's something to be proud of and to market, because if you got a young lady that is looking for her fit in some kind of sport, and lacrosse could be that sport, you might as well move to the beautiful community of Noblesville, Indiana. You've got a great program, great system, and great community. So come on over to Noblesville. A lot of great things happening. Terry Lee did.
Terry Lee, is he here now?
Well, he was in beautiful Avon.
Yeah.
Now he's in
Look at that.
beautiful.
Look at that.
Yeah.
One pass down the field, get it to the attack. Oh, nice stop by the goalie. I absolutely love to see the girls pass the ball down the field more than run it. I've yet to find a player that could outrun the ball.
Well, if there's a girl out there like that, again, Noblesville's a beautiful community. Your parents will love it. Come on over. So we got another shot on goal, miss. With 19:25 left, Lady Millers lead 7-0.
That was Kaylin Mertens there trying to get that shot.
She's an aggressive player, another basketball player.
Yep.
Really good athlete and aggressive.
Like Hannah, very, very aggressive, high level of intensity with Kaylin Mertens.
Mm-hmm.
Great addition to have out on the field. There's Hannah getting the strip. So I think, we're kind of seeing what we've seen a number of times this year, Joe, is that just the level of play of this varsity girls team, there's not a lot of girls around the state that really can compete with them.
Mm-mm. I mentioned the rainouts we've had. A week or so ago, there was going to be a big matchup over at Brebeuf hosting these matchups, and we lost out on a couple times. We're going to play this Eastern Kentucky team. But what's left on the schedule, it's going to be great. If you want to follow Lady Miller lacrosse or just high school lacrosse, Grace Hammond.
Look at that. That was a 20-yard pass right into the critical scoring area.
Yeah.
And just bang, bang.
But our Lady Millers will be traveling down to Hanover College to play Kentucky's ranked Country Day program.
Are they ranked?
Yeah.
Good.
And it will be a great matchup. And then we wrap up the regular season with Cathedral.
Yeah,
which
now
is going to
that
be a
should
great matchup.
I understand that's going to be the one of the tougher in-state games of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So very anxious for that game.
And around the state, there's some other programs thriving. Culver Military Academy, their ladies lacrosse team's thriving. They're doing well.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see this when you look at the schedules and wins and losses, how many teams we've already faced, and their only loss might have come from Noblesville.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're really
Taking
putting
some chances now.
putting a lot of emphasis on pushing the ball down the field and starting to get a little bit sloppy. And that's what I told you. When things are going too easy, that's where you tend to get sloppy.
Well, with 17:45 in the first, we've got our Lady Millers 8, Westfield Lady Shamrocks 0.
Hey, you know what? I'm sitting here, and I'm realizing what a great job our tech crew has done here. So I've got this post in my way, and all of a sudden I realize these guys have put a monitor right here so I can see that end of the field. It's like, are you kidding me?
Well, it's just the fact that we can even be live streaming a sporting event and the way this group handles it. I mean, the team from Hamilton County Television, Hometown Television Web Network do a phenomenal job. They do all the sports. They'll be taking off from here, heading over to the baseball fields to cover that Noblesville High School baseball game.
Do you have a roster of our tech team? I'd love to
I
recognize
don't have a
these
roster
guys.
of them.
We
but
need
I'll
a
tell
roster
you,
of our tech team.
If you want to meet them, I encourage you to go down to Logan Street signing banners.
Yeah, we all
Noblesville Trophies, Wofford Theater. You can head on down to Yancey's Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rentals. I'm certain you're going to find yourself in front of one of these fine gentlemen.
Well, for all they give back to the community, I think that's exactly where we should give back and support them.
7 o'clock tonight.
Well, stay tuned, because following this matchup today, they will be broadcasting live the Noblesville men's lacrosse team versus the Westfield men's Shamrock lacrosse team. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time this evening, they'll be hosting
Noblesville versus Southeastern baseball.
Noblesville versus Hamilton Southeastern. Big shout out to those two teams, because I'll tell you, between those two teams, they've got a heck of a record and a heck of a history. My neighbor's actually Hamilton Southeastern's head coach, Scott Henson.
Ah.
Yeah.
Scott might have wanted to just see that goal we scored by Kaylin Mertens.
Yeah.
Maybe he's scouting the game.
I don't know, but I'll tell you, good people. So we got our Lady Millers 10, Westfield Lady Shamrocks 0. So now the clock will run.
Yep.
We run it using a running clock.
Haven't seen the ball on the defensive end. Kylie's going to be a little bored so far.
Well, I hope not, because that's one of the things that we've seen all season long, where when they do finally get challenged, like it happened at Nobles or at Carmel, they've got to be ready and have that higher intensity level.
Yep.
So,
Cat's taking it to X. That's what we like to see. So they pass so when we say take the ball to X, what we're talking about is taking the ball behind the goal. And the great thing about that, and we haven't seen, I don't think I've seen as much of it as I like, traditionally, because we've had so much success going straight down the field and straight at the goal, we haven't had to rely on scoring from X. But X changes the game completely, because when you have somebody behind the goal with the ball, the defenders have to decide whether they're going to watch the person they're guarding on offense, or are they going to watch the ball. And so it makes it very difficult to play defense when the ball's behind the goal. Mm-hmm. And so, again, it changes the complexity of having to play defense.
Well, that strategy worked because the Lady Millers scored, and they've got a score of 11 now. So as they keep working on their offensive sets, I'm certain that's going to be part of it, right?
Hope so.
Wouldn't this be an opportunity for a team to start working some different offensive sets as they gear up toward wrapping up the regular season, going into the tournament?
Well, that's what you're looking to do when you're not challenged, and when you can really go out and kind of choose how and what you want to do. Then yes, you get to work on all kinds of things.
Hannah Potter
made a good decision not to go to goal. Instead, makes a feed to Ellie Palmer.
Nice.
For the goal.
The seniors working together. Hannah Potter with the assist, Ellie Palmer with the goal. Well, this sunshine certainly makes this a manageable experience. It's a lot better than what it was yesterday and the day before, right? So we got this beautiful sunshine. This weather hopefully will hold for the men's game. But in the meantime, if for all your signs and banner needs, go to Logan Street Signs and Banners. Celebrating 25 years of business serving the Hamilton County community in Noblesville. You can contact them at 317-773-7200 and visit their new website at www.loganstreetsigns.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
So we've got a sophomore, Kaylin Mertens, moved up to the midi circle. So that's a new opportunity for her. Westfield's going to get the ball here. One of the rare opportunities off of the draw, and almost an interception. There is nothing better in lacrosse to me than an interception. And these girls are very, very good at it.
They are. And, you know, when they get those, they should get a trophy, particularly a trophy from Noblesville Trophies. Noblesville Trophies offers a large range of products, including sports trophies, corporate awards, and in-house embroidery. Noblesville Trophies provides you with the same-day service of those last-minute decisions. So when you get an interception today, you should have a trophy on your desk tomorrow.
I was wondering where you were going with that, and I absolutely love it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You can contact them at 317-773-7391 or check them out on the web at www.noblesvilletrophies.com. And you can also follow them on Facebook and Twitter.
So here we go. The Westfield is attacking the middle. I think we may have gotten a little aggressive there on the defense. And probably going to give her a free shot.
Well, this is the first time the Lady Shamrocks have been in
Actually, they called
Miller.
a charge. Called
Miller.
a charge, so the defense gets the ball
Nice, because that was their first time in Miller territory.
in the critical scoring area.
Now here you got a wide open opportunity to get it downfield.
Yep. One of the things that I've noticed has gotten a lot better with this team is that the middies are doing a much better job, at least in the last 10 minutes, of moving the ball downfield to the attack, and that gives the attack an opportunity to try to score when there's not as much defense down there protecting the goal. It's very hard to score when the defense gets fully set up and everybody's down there. Now, surprisingly, I'm pretty sure that the Westfield is still in a man-to-man defense, which might be a little bit of the problem. I don't think that they've got the skills or the athletes to try to stop this many potential scorers on the Noblesville team. So usually a zone defense would help a little bit more with that. Well, that girl was just going to go through everybody, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I didn't even see the ball hit the ground, so I think Kat stole that out of the air. Maybe out of her stick. But had to give it back. Something illegal. Probably a sphere violation. And there you can see the girl basically carries her stick, carries the ball, doesn't cradle much, and makes it an easy target to steal.
Well, this goes back to your point about a girl being able to run faster than the ball, or a girl going by herself. Passing's key.
Mm-hmm.
And in this instance, I've seen it on the youth side where a girl can go full field, but I think it might be challenging on the varsity level.
Yeah, in varsity they can check. In the youth, we're not allowed to check above the shoulders.
So here's our Lady Millers on the run. Ellie Palmer to
Moving the ball down to Sammy Walkley. Sammy's making some moves. Brings it back out. Very good decision. Spreading it out. Now we'll get some cutters through. And there's an easy cut, assist, and score.
Hannah Nat. Big. I like
Yep.
it when they use the turf, when they go low with the shots.
Yeah. Yep.
Seems like some of the rookies tend to go a little high on their shots,
Mm-hmm.
and be able to mix up their shot selection. There, Hannah proved that going low, using the turf, could be to your benefit.
Yep.
So our Lady Millers lead 13-0 with 9:12 left in the first. We've got a running clock. You ever watch movies?
I do sometimes.
I love movies. You ever been to the Wofford Theater?
I have, and I got to tell you, it's one of the most exciting ways to watch a movie.
Well,
Totally
free
different.
movies. How about
Yeah.
free movies at the Witten Park in Fishers, presented by Saxony, May 20th, Finding Dory, June 3rd, Moana, and June 17th, Sing. Free classic movie events at Forest Park in Noblesville. Start June 2nd through August 4th. Movies include Patch Adams, The Philadelphia Story, August Rush, Funny Face, Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken, and that's only just in June.
I tried to pay them. It was worth paying, and they wouldn't accept any money.
They wouldn't?
Nope, community service.
Well, this movie opportunity through the Wofford Theater's Movies on the Go, you can visit them at woffordtheater.com. Sponsored by Logan Street Signs and Banners, Noblesville Trophies, and Hamilton County TV. The complete lineup can be found at www.woffordtheater.com.
So things are getting a little what we call chippy out there right now, which means that after some point in a game when you just are kind of getting blown out, you kind of get frustrated. You start getting just a little more aggressive with your frustration, and so there we saw a perfect example of somebody on the defense kind of swinging their stick, and that's where it gets a little scary for our players. That's how concussions can happen, and so it's a little bit of a concern here. With Grace Newman. Grace Newman has actually had a number of concussions over the years. Thankfully, none this year. But I always get concerned for her, especially when you get in there and the girls get on the defense are getting chippy because they're getting frustrated.
Speaking of chippy, Kaylin Mertens with the score. Our Lady Millers 14, Westfield Lady Shamrock 0. Kaylin's an aggressive athlete.
She is. But, Joe, I'm going to have to leave you here. We're going to go down and do some introductions at halftime with the youth program. So I'm going to go down and kind of gather them together and get things going, and so you'll have to carry it here until I return.
Excellent. Well, I'll look forward to your soon rival back. I know. And, hey, thank you for all you do for the youth programs, for sure.
It's my mission. I used to go down to Panama and give my time spreading the gospel, but I decided that I could do that right here in our hometown and basically try to make this my mission field. So
that's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, see you soon.
All right, see you a bit.
So here you are with the draw. Lady Millers take control of it. Hannah Potter. Hannah Potter with the goal. Another sponsor for today's event is Ivy Tech Community College. Ivy Tech prepares Indiana residents to learn, live, and work in a diverse and competitive environment. To answer any questions on enrolling or general information, you can visit their website at www.ivytech.edu or call them at 317-921-4300. Community Health. Community Health is Central Indiana's leader in providing healthcare services where and when patients need them. With any questions, you can contact Community Health at 317-355-7775 or check out their website at www.ecommunity.com. So here we are with the draw. The Shamrocks take control of the draw. Good solid defense there. It's Noblesville going to take control. No. Shamrock's still in control. So this should be an opportunity for Noblesville to show the strength of their defense. Right now, we've had a lineup change defensively, but the Millers should be able to hold strong. Anytime that you get in a situation like this with a score of 15-0, you might anticipate some relaxation. So hopefully the Millers will keep their intensity up. And hopefully for Westfield, they'll get a chance to get on the board, lift their spirits a bit. Taylor Geisen with the defensive pressure. Kayla Mertens switches over. Nice bounce shot. Defended by the goalie. Meredith Hayes, who's a junior, number 3. She'll be returning back for the Lady Millers. So the Lady Millers in control of this first half as Taylor Geisen holds on to the ball and passes to Hannah Potter. On over to Ellie Palmer. To Hammond. Grace Newman. To Taylor Geisen. So they just move around and toss it back and forth and just run that clock down. Basically, we got seniors playing catch. Taylor Geisen in control. Tosses over to Grace Hammond, or Grace Newman, excuse me, number 29. She's a senior. Newman to Potter. Potter to Geisen. Geisen back to Potter. Potter to Grace Newman. Newman to Mia Blackburn, freshman. having a good senior year or a good or freshman year so far. Sammy Walkley over to Taylor Geisen. Geisen to Potter. Potter to Grace Newman. Newman to Natvig. Back to Potter. Clearly, the Lady Millers are just wanting to get out of this first half. They're running the clock down, showing a patient offense, just keeping it mixed up. Just by tossing around and running that clock down. Another sponsor of today's live broadcast is Church Hiddle and Atrium, attorneys at law, from personal injury claims to complex business litigations to divorce cases. Church Hiddle and Atrium protect the rights of individuals, businesses, schools, and government bodies all around Indiana, including Noblesville, Fishers, Merrillville, Tipton. You can contact our Noblesville office at 317-773-5320 or simply visit their website at www.cchalaw.com. That's www.cchalaw.com. Well, the clock's running down. Our Lady Millers have a strong hold on this game. Lady Millers have 15, the Lady Shamrocks 0. As we go into halftime, our halftime celebration, we'll be introducing our youth Lady Millers from our youth program. My co-host Rob Green's the coach of the program, and I tell you, he does a fine job. He's recruited a number of girls throughout the community to participate in this game of lacrosse, and it's great. So as the Millers wind this down, it's getting a little sloppy, but you've got a couple passes in, and shot off the back at the buzzer. Grace Newman took a shot, and it just bounced back. So here we are at the half. Our Noblesville Lady Millers 15, the Westfield Lady Shamrock 0. So at the half, enjoy the half as we do this youth recognition. Look forward to catching you at the start of the second half.
Hey Deb, why do they call us Logan Street Signs and Banners?
Because we started off at Logan Street.
But we're on South 10th Street.
We moved 22 years ago.
Why didn't we change the name?
That would have just confused everybody and they wouldn't be able to find us.
Now I'm really confused.
Bill, we're Logan Street Signs and Banners, conveniently not located on Logan Street, but on South 10th Street in Noblesville.
Are you tired of watching your favorite IHSA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the IHSAA and Blue Frame Technology. Are you tired of watching your favorite IHSA broadcasts on your small mobile device? You can now watch them on your TV with new apps for Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire, and Roku. Brought to you by the IHSAA and Blue Frame.
Well, welcome back. Here we are. We've concluded the first half. Our Lady Millers are leading the Lady Shamrocks 15. Welcome back, Rob.
Thank you.
This broadcast of IHSAA Women's High School Lacrosse, the Lady Millers, nationally and state ranked women's lacrosse program versus the Westfield Lady Shamrocks. This broadcast is being presented by Logan Street Signs and Banners, celebrating their 25th year in the business. We'd also like to thank our other great sponsors, Noblesville Trophies, Wofford Theater, Community Health, the law firm of Church, Hiddle, and Ettram, Ivy Tech, Smith Jewelers, Mark Harbrandt, Bolden Sassy Salon, Indiana Restoration, Yancey's Fine Apparel and Tuxedo Rental. Watch all Hamilton County Live sporting events and other events live on demand on your smart TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, phone, plus any device with a YouTube app. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.hctvyoutube.com. If you'd be interested in sponsoring an event, reach out to us. We're always looking to help you grow your business and increase your footprint, whether it be locally, socially, or professionally. Check us out on the web. You can find us at www.hctvyoutube.com. Visit our Facebook page or check out our sports calendar at www.httv1.com. Again, if you'd look to sponsor a local event, reach out to us. We'd be glad to help you grow your business and grow your network and your marketing reach. So, Rob, here we are. We're growing as a program, we're growing as a team, and we're in action again.
Yep. That was a very nice gesture of everyone involved to recognize the youth program. Let the girls run out on the field. Before the game actually began, they let our gals warm up with the varsity team. And the girls just really get a kick out of that. Creates a lot of camaraderie at all levels of the girls' lacrosse program. You know, we're kind of looking at kind of a repeat, Joe. It seems like we find ourselves at halftime frequently in these games where it's like, yeah, what do you do now when you're up by so many?
Oh, shot by Cat Green.
Yeah, up by so many goals, and you don't want to run the score up, but you also don't want your team to not compete.
Nice shot by Ellie Palmer.
Yeah, I took that left-handed.
Yeah, and it was a nice move.
It was. You know,
I saw a basketball player come out, and it was like a drop step she took. And whenever she learned that, another former basketball player for the Lady Millers.
Her nickname her 8th grade year was the Assassin. She had a tremendous shot placement, and still does to this day. She's not, again, the most aggressive player on the field, but she has tremendous stick skills and just a deadly shot.
Well, as you say that, what came to my mind was, how about experience? You know, that's the diversity on this team with the senior group, the experience they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the conclusion of this season, I'd personally be interested in seeing what their win-loss ratio or win-loss record was as a team, as a unit, seniors, because it's got to be pretty awesome.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that. I did a posting on our Facebook, which is Miller's Girls Lacrosse page, and I haven't calculated it exactly, but I can tell you that this group of seniors class for the last 6 years are over a 90% winning percentage. Over 90%. It is. It's just got to be.
That's like batting 900 in the major leagues.
Yeah, like you're going to hit the ball 9 out of 10 times.
You're going to win 9 out of 10 times.
They're going to win 9 out of 10 times, and I'm telling you, it's over 90%. So they will win more than 9 out of 10 times when they take the field the last 6 years.
If your daughter's a junior, sophomore, or freshman, or even an 8th grader, 7th grader, or 6th grader, to be affiliated, to be around that group of people that have that kind of winning, that kind of just class, because they are all class acts.
They are.
And they're all winners. That's awesome.
Well, what it is, it's a culture. You build a culture of winning. You build a culture that's not focused on winning, but it's focused on doing the right things. And winning is what happens.
There's Kat Green on the move.
She loves to hit that post.
And that's 2 in a row for her on 2 shots taken.
You know, as hard as it is to hit the post, you'd think they'd give 2 points for that instead of no points. But she'd be an All-American scorer if she could get 2 points for hitting the post.
Another
Look
pass
at
in.
them just, they work it. And so this is the sloppiness, right?
Right.
So any other time of the game, Ellie, or let's see that.
That was Ellie Palmer.
Yep. Ellie would have taken that, caught it easily, and shot it easily. And now she's having hesitations. She's probably, whether she's thinking about it or not, she's feeling a little bit guilty about the score. They pass it to her, and where she would normally catch it and shoot it easily, she
Grace
fumbles
Newman with the turf assist.
Yep. But even Grace's shot there didn't have the velocity on it normally does. She just kind of bounced it in. And you know, if you're a coach and you know these girls as well as I know these girls, you know that that they're not Hart is really not in the competition right now.
Well, at this point, with a 17-0 lead with 20-12 left in the second half in a regulation, this could be an opportunity with a few more goals. I would suspect that a lot of youth will be on the field.
I'm not going to second guess that. I have no idea. You and
I'm hopeful.
You and I have sat here and talked about that, and from where we sit, it tends to make sense that we would, but we're not on the sidelines coaching. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes, so we get what we get.
Here we are with Taylor Geisen pushing it down to Kat Green.
Kat Green's looking for the feed. Kat's one of her strongest skills is scoring one-on-one. And so, you know, I can just tell right there that when Kat gets the ball and it's one-on-one and she doesn't go to the goal like that, the coaches are really calling them off a little bit. You know, you can't go out and not
Ellie
play.
Palmer.
Ellie makes a nice spin shot.
That was a redemption from the prior play when she had an opportunity at goal. So we are at 18.
And the you know, the hard part here too is on the other side of the ball for these daughters, right, and sisters. They're just girls from Westfield, right?
Right and, next door.
Yeah, and they're our neighbors, they're our friends, and they're just, you know, they're feeling miserable right now because they're not able to really put up more of a fight. And it's not that they're not good kids, it's not that they're not even good athletes, but they just probably don't have the years and years of experience that Noblesville's got on the field right now. And so at a point you just become discouraged.
Here we are with the draw.
Now,
Grace
on a
Newman.
coaching standpoint, I can tell you one of the things that I coach toward is this very thing. We talk about, you know, crush their will to compete. And that's kind of what's happened here is that, you know, Westfield's trying, but they're not, their heart's not in it. Can't be. They haven't even scored a goal. It's hardly been on their offensive end. So the Lady Millers have done exactly what they have been taught to do. Here we go to X. I love that.
When you look on the other end of the field, you got these 4 defensive players just waiting for some action. And that's where they need to be challenged to continue to grow as a team.
Mm-hmm.
So when they do face that opponent, and that's coming.
Yep.
There's a couple teams we still have left on schedule. There won't be a lot of standing around with your hands crossed.
Coming this week.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Waiting for some action.
This may be this coming week may be the biggest week for this varsity team. I think
it will by far be the biggest week they've had season to date.
Right. Country Day out of Kentucky and Cathedral.
Yes. Both highly respected programs and a great opportunity for our program, for sure.
You know, I was sitting in the stands watching the Carmel game last week, and in the first half, I was actually very happy. I was happy to see this team get challenged like Carmel did. Carmel had the lead in the first half, and I was excited for that because this team needs to see some adversity. And, man, just the character it showed for them to come back and hold that team to not a single score the second half, and then to pour it on offensively.
Well, once again, we're running the clock down, and we're just playing stall ball. That's Hannah Potter with the score. So we're at 18 with 17 left in the regulation. And we're here. I'm hopeful that we'll see some new faces to challenge this team.
Well, let's talk about the future. How about we do that?
Well, we've got a bright one, that's for sure. We've got a lot of seasoned, experienced underclassmen.
Let's talk about some of these underclassmen. So I'm going
Let's
to go
start with
through
the
the roster. And if we look at the juniors, our goalie, Meredith Hayes, she made such a tremendous improvement over the offseason from last year to this year.
Absolutely. Compared to what she had to replace.
Yeah.
A senior.
Well, no, actually she, was that last year?
Mm-hmm. We had a senior goalie last year.
Caitlin? I thought she left 2 years ago. She leave last year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then, yeah.
We only had 3
so
seniors.
The timing was tremendous because Meredith, I thought, was a pretty average goalie, and again, it kind of reflected in the time that she got. If she was setting and playing behind Caitlin, who was by all measures a great goalie herself. Meredith really prepared for this season because she came in this year and she is clearing the ball so well. She gets it downfield quickly, which is important for scoring in transition, as we talk about. We have another junior on the team, Brittany Blackburn. And Brittany has been playing a number of years. And Brittany has good stick skills. She's not a real aggressive player, but she is improving in her aggressiveness. And she's got the stick skills that once she starts, matter of fact, she's holding the ball right now behind the goal. When she gets a chance next year to kind of take a more active role, she actually is someone who can make great cuts into the critical scoring area, catch the ball, and shoot the ball. So it'll be good to see her step up and take a leadership role next year. And then we've got one other player, Abby Schroeder, is a junior on the varsity team, and she plays defense, number 33. Again, not somebody that I don't know Abby real well. She's one that kind of joined after her freshman year, and so I don't really know her that well, other than just having watched her play defense. She looks solid. I think she'll continue to be a good contributor to the defense next year. And then we've got one junior, Anna Harrington. Do you know her?
I don't.
I don't know her. I think she's new this year, and so she's on the JV team. So she's listed as a midfield, and I don't know her that much. Then we go to the sophomores. Laura Chatterton, Low Chat?
Mm-hmm.
Low Chat has got burner speed. Man, is she fast. She's listed as defense. She might end up playing some midi next year when we lose a number of these seniors.
Is she a first-year player?
No, she's a second-year player.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, from what I've watched, from what I watched when she came in as a freshman, I think she's darn close to ambidextrous. So she can shoot right-handed, left-handed pretty equally well. She's aggressive, and so she may get a shot at some midi time next year, I would think. Kayla Kubel, sophomore, number 6. We called her name a couple times last time we were broadcasting, and she is a player who is comfortable behind the net at that X position. You can kind of see her back there right now. Got her stick up looking for the ball. Matter of fact, might get it right now. There's Kayla Kubel with the ball. And Kayla can sit back there at that X position and find cutters. She makes a lot of great passes. She's a very good passer. And even steps around the goal from time to time and will actually score from that position, which is exactly what she's supposed to do. Number 9, Allie Harp. Is she on the field? No, I don't see Allie.
No, I don't see her either.
Allie Harp is, I think, going to be a strong contributor next year. She runs at attack. She's listed. She could probably run attack or midi. But again, good solid stick skills, pretty darn athletic, and would definitely be playing a lot more on a lot of other teams. Erin Wilson, we talked about earlier, a defender.
She's out there on defense now.
Yeah, you remember her from basketball, right?
Sure. And she's had a good season this year. Gotten a lot of minutes on defense.
One of the
had a nice interception at Carmel.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Erin does is she is pretty athletic, but her anticipation and her field awareness is very similar to Grace Newman. And so, through all of the wins that we've had over the last 6 years, Grace Newman is somebody who really shows up when you need her. She's not someone who will start off dominating a game, but when they start locking down on some of other seniors, she can play at the same level as any of the seniors on our team. But not everybody can play the same role on a team, and so Grace waits until the team needs her, and then she steps up, and she has played tremendous. Matter of fact, last year in the Zionsville game, when we were behind and coming from behind to advance in the tournament, she's the one that made the last-second shot to tie the game so that we could go into overtime. So she just really is a big-time player, sees the field, great passer, can score. She can do it all. She just kind of sometimes waits until the team needs her to step up.
Westfield's finally getting a shot at playing on our end of the field, so our defense gets a chance to loosen up. And they do. They loosen up too much, so Westfield gets on the board.
Well, good for Westfield.
It is.
Hate to see our defense give up a goal like that because they really didn't challenge her much.
Yep.
But by the same token, good for Westfield, right?
Our next women's lacrosse will be Friday, May 19th. We'll be here for part of the championships.
Got that, Joe?
I do.
Want to repeat that?
Good news, yes. Our next live broadcast for Lady Millers Lacrosse will be May 19th. Friday, May 19th, here at Hare Chevrolet Field. We'll be hosting the tournament, the state tournament. That's always an exciting time. I know that we've been looking forward to that. So our Lady Millers on the move again.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep working through here. I don't want to leave anybody out once we've started here. So the next sophomore on this team, holy cow, is right there, Sammy Walkley. Sammy, number 14, plays attack. She just scored, and that girl has got a rocket of a shot, probably among the hardest shooters on the team. So she is definitely in a great position next year to play a lot of minutes and to have a big impact on the team. Probably will move back to midi, I would guess, next year. Hard to say, but that girl's got a lot of game. The next sophomore on the roster here going through is Kylie Morris, one of my favorite players. Kylie has got a great package to bring. She's tall. She's athletic. She also is as close to ambidextrous as you can get. Almost from the first couple of weeks of her playing the game, she was shooting left-handed before I even started talking about shooting left-handed. So she can score in a variety of different ways. She's aggressive, and just another player that's going to have an opportunity to step up next year and play a really big role.
Taylor Geis with the goal. Well, it'll be interesting to see. She's played a lot of defense this year. She's playing behind some great attacks and mids. So, yeah, she's got some opportunities next year to have a good impact for this program.
Well, one of Kylie's good friends is next on the roster, which is Kat Green, my daughter.
Yeah.
And
great player.
She's been playing again such a long time. Before we even had a girls' youth program, Kat was in a helmet and pads playing with the boys and absolutely loved that game. Matter of fact, it was a real struggle to get her to come over to the girls' game. And, Kat is a little bit of the same situation. She has started a little bit more than a lot of the sophomores, but has been kind of, a second fiddle to this very strong senior class. And Kat also brings a lot of game, through years of experience and very athletic. And so we've had a lot of talks that, one, she has to respect the senior class and what they've earned and what they've accomplished, and two, she has to wait her turn. And at times I'm surprised at how well she's done with that. It's very hard when you're an athlete and you're a competitor. It's hard to sit back and let other people take the lead. So many of these girls that have the ability are anxious to fill that role of being the aggressor and having the impact on the game. So I think that our daughters Kylie and Kat will both have a chance the next 2 years to really take this kind of team and make it their own, and along with the other sophomores, and give this program another winning combination of players. Next on the roster here is Meredith Miller, another basketball player, and Meredith is just a tremendous competitor at defender. They spent a lot of time on the defensive varsity team last year as freshmen, and as sophomores, Meredith is now one of the starters on defense, one of the starters on this state and nationally ranked team. So tremendous competitor, and right along with her is Grace Hammond. Those two both played basketball together along with a lot of these girls, and those two girls are so aggressive and so strong on defense that they make it difficult for other teams to score. Got two more here. Jacqueline Klinger, she is a goalie, and she plays behind Meredith Hayes, who is a very strong goalie. So Jacqueline, too, kind of bides her time and is waiting for her time and trying to improve. Plays a lot of JV goalie and continues to get strong. Pretty athletic, and I've seen her play attack, and she is a strong attack player. But again, it's important that teams have balance, and you got to have an athletic goalie. So she is one of those. And the last one is Kaylin Mertens, who we've talked about also.
Yeah, she's got a lot going for us next year too.
Yep, strong defender, relentless player, loves the big stage, the big minutes, loves to take shots when other people are afraid of missing. So, and then our lone freshman starter and freshman on the varsity team is Mia Blackburn, and this girl has just crazy stick skills, probably right up there with Taylor Geisen. So it's just such a great team. So many good girls, and then I haven't even gone through the JV. Again, there's another 20 of those, so I probably won't do that here.
But those girls have really grown this season for sure.
Yep.
From this first game to today, they have really shown a lot of promise as well. Here we are with a Miller lead 21-1 with 3:15 left in regulation. So they've controlled this second half. They haven't been aggressive. Clearly, they've been respectful to the opponent, and they are slowly scoring when they probably could be quickly scoring.
Yeah, they could score a goal about every 30 seconds if they were challenged to. And so it's senior night, so a lot of these girls who are seniors, I'm sure don't want to remember their senior day, senior night, as just kind of standing around playing catch. And so unfortunately for Westfield, showing up on this day, they want to remember this day as a fun and exciting day. Even if the score wasn't challenging, they want to remember it as playing lacrosse.
That's right. Well, 2 minutes left. The Millers lead 22-1, and we've got another draw. Looking for some jewelry? Check out Smith's Jewelers. They've been serving Hamilton County, including Noblesville, Fishers, Westfield, and Carmel for over 65 years. Many jewelry stores have come and gone, yet Smith's remains. If one were to ask how and why, the answer would be their outstanding jewelry selection and customer service. Their knowledgeable staff at Smith Jewelers is eager to give their customers a memorable and positive experience. You can contact them at 317-773-3383 or visit them online at www.smithsonsquare.com.
So we're going to, you guys are broadcasting the boys' game after this, is that right? Yep.
And baseball at 7.
And baseball at 7. So I got to tell you, that's a lot of work for this technical crew here to come and spend all day doing this and then pack it up and go do a game at 7.
Yeah, it's commitment to Hamilton County sports. Hamilton County sports, hands down. When you look at Hamilton County, you've got Noblesville, Hamilton Southeastern, Fishers, Westfield, Carmel, Sheridan, Guerin Catholic.
There's a lot of good organizations in Hamilton County.
There are, and you look at every one of those schools / programs, they've all been successful at whatever level they participate in.
Yep.
Long-standing traditions in multiple sports, Hamilton County sports. So as we wind this game down, your hosts, Rob Green and Joe Morris, want to say thank you. We also want to thank you for listening in and visiting us on the web. And we want to thank Hometown Television Web Network and Hamilton County Television for broadcasting this Noblesville, Westfield women's lacrosse matchup. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Following this broadcast, they will start and broadcast the men's lacrosse game, and that'll be the host Millers, Noblesville Millers versus the Westfield Shamrocks for an exciting matchup for men's high school lacrosse. As always, we want to say thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Rob?
Hey, I just want to really congratulate this senior class. Just such an amazing story of what they've done over the last 6 years, and they've done it with class, and they've done it with just good, solid effort. And I wish them the best of luck in the state championship run coming up. It's it's not always the best team that wins, Joe. You know that, and crazy things can happen. So nothing is a given. But I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be on any other team going into the tournament.
That's right. Well, we got a lot to look forward to in the black and gold. So, again, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you on the 19th for the state tournament. Take care. Have a great day.
See you, Joe.